Hey everyone, Franklin here, man behind the channel. I wanted to share 3 things I liked about here living in Taipei, Taiwan, and 3 things I didn't. So I spent about 57 days here, so I'm not a resident, not extended amount of time, but 57 days is decent enough to get kind of some thoughts and feelings and all that. So the first thing that comes to mind is definitely going to be the food, and in general it's just very livable. It's a very livable place. That goes with a lot of factors, but number one for me is the food. You can get a great meal at a local eatery for about 100 to under 200 NTD, which is you can go crazy and get Western style food. But if you're eating local, rice and meat and some rice and noodles, stuff like that, like lu rou fan. You can also get Taiwanese beef noodle soup, just the staples here. You can eat very, very affordably and healthy as well. Another part of livability is the metro. So the metro works really well. It runs pretty late and it's very affordable. About let's say 2 stops or so is 25 NTD, and it's very well connected in the Taipei metropolitan area. I didn't take any buses, but and of course the safety is really safe here. It's practically no violent crime and around pretty much whenever you want in the city, and be safe. I even saw in the south some people saving their seats with their bag or their phone even. They would put it on the table, go and order at the counter, and then go back to the table where their phone was, and there's no issue here. So definitely different than a lot of places that I've been, and like North America, Latin America, Europe. I wouldn't even think of doing that. And then the people here, they are fairly friendly, they're fairly polite, and whenever I asked a question or seemed lost, somebody would sometimes step in and try and help me on the metro, or if I had a question they would use a translator and kind of help me through ordering something. Just really nice and patient, and it was nice to see. There's a lot of meetups here, so I've met some locals and a decent number of other travelers, language exchanges. There's board game meetups, there's hiking groups, so you could find something to do every night of the week here. And I found it pretty straightforward and pretty easy to make friends here. You can kind of see it's a bit overcast. So Taipei was a bit more overcast and gray and rainy than I was expecting. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, but I knew it's subtropical and tropical, so I was expecting a bit more sunny skies, but that's pretty typical for here. It's pretty rainy and overcast more often than not, and especially compared to the south. So if I were to go south and Tainan or Kaohsiung, mispronounced it, or Kenting, it would be a lot sunnier and a lot clearer weather. Coming here, a lot of places are cash only, so a lot of the night street vendors, a lot of the restaurants, and the easy card you use, you kind of have to reload it through cash only, either at the ATM or the machine there, or at a 7-Eleven or convenience store. So this adds a little bit of a friction point that I didn't love. The access to nature I really enjoyed. There is a lot of easy trails you can take outside of the capital, and you can even take the metro to Elephant Mountain. Also, the thing I did like also is the greenery and nature. If you like greenery and you like access to nature, this is a great place to go as well. Just a lot of the alleyways are just fun to navigate around and just enjoy the greenery. And a big benefit was the U-Bike program. You can hook up your credit card to it, and it is, I think, first 30 minutes are free, and then after that it's very cheap, very affordable. I used U-Bike extensively here and probably rented multiple hours of it, and it costs maybe not even $18, and that's after 3 weeks of using it, going around places all the way around the island. Another thing that surprised me was kind of the age of the buildings here in Taipei. It reminded me a lot of Tokyo when I first landed. Then I later realized that it was occupied by Japan for a number of years, so it made a lot of sense. But a lot of the buildings are a little bit older, a little bit like post-war kind of, and then for what you get, I think the value isn't as good as other places. So, for example, like a private room in a shared apartment would go about for 700, 800, 850 through like a private third-party landlord, or even Airbnb. It would push it up to 900 to 1200. And this is kind of an older place, not super updated, and might not be in the best area close to the metro. But if you're looking for really nice cheap accommodations, I don't think the value is there. But if you don't really care, like me, you just want a private room, it's a pretty great place to find. And I'll put some information more you can follow up. It's kind of growing from the gutters. With the scooters, there's just a lot of greenery, and people put their potted plants in, so you have an entire alleyway of just all vegetation, potted plants. It's really nice aesthetic. Here's an example. Alright, so that kind of concludes my thoughts. Bit of a different style. I'm going to go back to doing walking videos, but yeah, I just wanted to do a different style here for everyone. Okay, bye. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are.